Then, yeah, I continued and carried that through college. Wasn't able to get a scholarship, but ended up walking on to the track team at Duke University, which is where I attended. And that was a blast. That was some of the best times of my life, those competitions. I don't really talk too often about my running habits, but I feel like recently I've been kind of just exploring, making topics about various aspects of my life. And, it's like, obviously, you have to have the anticipation, expectation that very few people are going to watch what you produce. That should be the null hypothesis. That's the control that your content's not going to be viewed by many people, so you have to make it really for yourself. And I think in this case it's an archive. The best that I can describe is just putting these thoughts somewhere, storing them, so that I can maybe look back one day at all the different moments and experiences, adventures, challenges I've had. So yeah, one thing that I've been really passionate about since I was like 13 years old is cross country and track and field. And I've put a lot of work in over the years and run at a reasonably high level. So I ran in high school, the 400 and 800 primarily, occasionally dabbling in other events. Did cross country all 4 of those years. Wasn't extremely good, but pretty decent for somebody who was mid-distance specialist, and actually lower fast twitch on that spectrum. So mileage wasn't exactly my forte back then, and neither is it now. But I got down sub 17 5K, sub 2 minute 800, almost sub 50 400, and then I continued and carried that through college. Wasn't able to get a scholarship, but ended up walking on to the track team at Duke University, which is where I attended. And that was a blast. That was some of the best times of my life, those competitions. And I ended up pushing my 800 time down to about 1 minute and 52 seconds. And it's been about 4 years now since I've ran those times. And I've been working and working and working, trying to get to a superior fitness level, because I really believe that I have more in the tank. So I was injured for like 2 years, and I had a mixture of IT band syndrome and some minor hip tears. And so it was challenging, because it was felt like every time I was breaking through another wall, I would kind of get reset. So I had to reevaluate my training plan. And so I actually completely changed my training splits. And for all the runners out there, you might understand the lingo a little bit more. In college, we were typically doing the traditional 6 days on, 1 day off. So we would take Sunday as a rest day and then run those other days. And that would look like essentially 2 workouts a week, maybe on Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Thursday. A long run built in at some point, as well as some striders, and those could occur after a workout or even on like kind of a pre-meet type day, which was usually low effort, like Friday. So that was kind of the training split, and what I gravitated towards after I got injured was a 3 day on, 1 day off split. So to give myself more rest, because I was constantly getting re-injured, I decided to just lower the volume and try to increase the intensity a little bit, but give myself more time to recover. And so that actually did work successfully, although it did take some time before I saw significant results. And yeah, so it's been about a year that I've been on that training split, and it's taken me that time literally to go from running 15 miles a week to about 40 again. And at that time, I wasn't running any hard interval workouts. I wasn't doing any tempos. It was just a struggle to even finish a 3-4 mile run because I was constantly experiencing tendonitis and tightness. So yeah, a mixture of plyometrics, calisthenics, and stretching has really helped me recently, these last few months, to kind of bounce back even faster. So my current routine looks like, in the 3-day splits, I actually try to get one longer run, higher volume, at least 60 minutes. So that's going to be about, it can be, depending on the pace, somewhere from like 7.5 to 9 miles, more or less. I'll also get something short and fast, and that a lot of times will just be a 4-mile run where 1 mile is a little bit harder, or a progressive run where I just kind of build it and then just kick it hard at the end, try to get low 6s for a couple of them. And then one of those days is just stupid slow, 8-minute pace for 4 or 5 miles. So that's kind of the current regiment. I haven't really been able to build into striders again just because I'm really unstable with small pains, and I really just want to be careful about re-injuring anything at this point just because everything's going well. But I am incorporating yoga into the mix, so I'm trying to strengthen all the little individual joints, body parts, to eventually start lifting again consistently, and afterwards to get back into some faster stuff slowly. Because I had been doing some really, really fast tempos earlier in the summer, where I was pushing, it could be anywhere from low 5-minute pace to sub 5-minute pace, but then it just was too hard on my Achilles. And I wasn't really seeing much benefit because it was taking too long to recover. So yeah, I ended up just kind of easing off of that. And so yeah, that's the current regiment that I do. I do calisthenics every night. So I try to get somewhere between 50 and 100 push-ups in. I also roll out. I try to roll out before I go to work every morning, and also definitely when I go to bed, as well as after stretching. And I've been taking these multivitamins, 2 a day. Haven't noticed a huge difference, but it's only been about a week. And other small things I do, like I roll out my plantar part of my foot with this, which helps a lot to release tension in the morning that's built up overnight. And yeah, do a little bit of band work too. There's a band back here. I use it for curls and for just kind of my upper body, but I can use it for lower body too, like for hamstrings. So overall, it's going okay. Getting faster, getting more fit. I feel pretty confident I'm in about 17:15 to 17:30 5K shape. Although in order to actually exercise that, I think it would cost me more than it would benefit me. So I'm still trying to be careful about doing too hard of an effort until I feel very confident that it's mainly my Achilles, that it is secure and not going to basically implode on me running that much volume. Because that's the thing, it's not really the intensity, because intensity feels easy, it's just the volume. When I do that intensity at a strained volume as opposed to intervals, then I feel it really, really heavy, especially the next day. And you can hear that constantly popping, so it's like always feels a little bit tight. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed just a little bit of rambling. But talking about the fitness, I'm super into staying sharp physically, and I really don't like letting myself go or the thought of it. There's only been one time in my life last year where I was ever really unsatisfied with my physique, and that was a point where I really was running minimally. Injury was at its climax, and I just wasn't eating how I should be. So I ended up probably fluctuating up to 165 to 170 pounds, which for me is significant because my typical running fitness weight, which has been this way for years, like 10 years, is around 150 to 155 pounds. That's my competition weight. So to be that much heavier and trying to stay in that elite level of fitness is not really possible. So, most people would be like, oh, that's not even a difference, like barely could see it. But for me, I could feel it. Like I feel slower, I feel sluggish, just with 10 pounds, let alone imagine gaining 50 pounds, 100 pounds. So I'm pretty confident right now that I'm on the right track. I'm around 150 post run, wake up around 153 each day. I feel pretty strong, feel pretty, pretty full, not depleted. Feel fairly snappy, aside from the Achilles tension. And overall my aerobic capacity is fairly high because I'm not doing things that are gonna reduce it at this point. Like, since the Vice Mitigation Challenge, I've not smoked for 1 month now, not drinking at all, and really no juices, definitely no sodas, no sugary drinks. So have only been consuming Gatorade. Oh, aside from Gatorade, Gatorade and water. So I only use the Gatorade sparingly, especially after the long runs, to do like a really deep recovery. And I'm generous with it at that time. If you're somebody who's just starting out in your running journey, you really need to be patient because this is a sport that compounds an excruciatingly high amount of stress in the body. And stress and tension, tightness, these things take time to release, to dissipate. And so the most important thing you can do is rest and recover and be prepared to allow your body to grow into itself and allow that training to settle, because it's going to eventually, as long as you're patient. So with that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your Sunday, and peace.